What is happening in NJ Gaming Dude here with some Under Night in Birth EXE latest? Hold on, wait, I'm pretty sure yeah, that's the title. I have to double check. Under Night in Birth EXE latest, yep. Jesus Christ, I don't know how high the person was that came up with the title, but I'll be damned if it isn't kind of out there. Now, what was I going for? Oh yeah. So I suppose I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna try and get some trophies, to be completely honest. I could start the story, but I've almost gotten the overachiever trophy, which is for earning what, 1 billion points total in score attack. Like I'm well over 500 million at least. I mean, like with Hilda, I've got like what, 300 mil from just one run with her. And I suppose you can take like most of... Ah, Jesus, my video capture device completely... Hold on. I want it to be... See... Not long in and already like we're hitting some straight up issues. Hold on. So if I go pure audio capture, custom device, and then I go to and I need to go sound capture. There we go. Cool. We finally got audio from the game. So no need to panic there. Maybe I'll put the volume down a bit. Yeah, I should do. I feel like this is kind of like what I'm doing at the moment is probably like a really good way of getting most of the trophies in the game that are difficulty related. Is just to put Hilda's BC on a single button like R1 that I've got at the moment, and then just keep spamming that, because I managed to beat the arcade mode on the hardest difficulty by just doing this. And the thing about beating arcade mode on the hardest difficulty for that particular trophy, you need to not only have it on the hardest difficulty, but you also need to win 3 rounds against your opponent as well. So you need to at least allow for 3 rounds of fighting. Whereas like here we've only got 2 rounds because of score attack. And I think like most of it is pretty much just pretty like standard settings, like, you know, win twice against your opponent, default difficulty. Defaulted difficulties. That's probably the worst I've played in the first fight, in the first stage of like score attack so far. And then I think I've only been through score attack like twice so far. Immortalize. Ah, we're up against Chaos. Also, I think this is maybe like today's like the first time I've ever really jumped into this particular game, because like Under Night in Birth released like a few times already. So like we have EXE Late, that was on like PS3 and Vita. I don't know if it released on Vita, but it definitely released on PS3. Then we've got EXE Latest, which is one I'm playing at the moment. That's on PS3, PS4 and Vita. And then we have Under Night in Birth EXE CLR, which is... So all 3 of these are the exact same game, but different versions of the arcade cabinet, but they all are pretty much one and the same, just feels a little bit different mechanically just because of the different versions of the arcade fighter. So I suppose that kind of is a little bit of a confusing thing that exists. Unfortunately, you can't like move your save across the numerous versions. I think the only thing you can do is with the Vita and PS3 versions. Virus, from what I can tell. Who am I up against? Oh, Yuzuriya. Now, from what I'm aware, Yuzuriya is a short range attacker, so she's like the samurai character. And that's pretty much all I know about her from just fighting her over and over again. Hilda's got like at least short to mid range attacks, so the only thing that will really be able to stop me is long range attackers like Batista, for instance. I'm pretty sure we'll be fighting her quite a bit anyways. Plus I feel like I know more of the villains of the series than I do the actual main characters. Like I could name off Hyde, and he's the protagonist of the series. And then when I think about villains, I think about Waldstein or Waldstein, I can't remember how his name is pronounced, and then there's also I've got Hilda, of course. Who else do we have? Villains in this game. Damn, I've been playing for like a few hours and I can't remember most of the characters. Wow, this is shocking, but then again, I haven't done anything story related yet, or anything too story heavy. I feel like we're tackling most of the really time consuming stuff, because I've already done, I think, most of the really hard stuff anyways. Challenge mode is is annoying if you don't really do that sort of thing. Oh, Waldstein, or Waldstein, or whatever. Waldstein. Oh, Waldstein, okay. So it was Stein, not Steen this entire time. Who would have thought? I know that this is super cheap, but let's be real, I'm not good at fighters whatsoever. Though I feel like I might end up doing some combo trophy guides for like specific combo related trophies in this game, just like I kind of did with what's it called? Like how I did with it's on my channel. It's like literally the most popular videos on my channel so far on YouTube. The Heroine Chronicles something or other. Nitroclus Blasters, there we go. Ultimate Infinite Heroines Duel? Yeah. Those videos did well at like 5,000 views. Well, not 5,000, more like 2,000 to 4,000 views, which still, like, for someone who's only got what 10 subs is actually pretty good. Got 15 subs now that I really think about it. Vanishment of the Void. There is so much broken English on here. I guess that's kind of what you get with having a lot of words on the screen, like there's words everywhere. Unfortunately, we don't have as much like over-the-top starting, like kind of like what they had with Guilty Gear, which like at the beginning of every like round, you know, you'd have to go through like a whole spiel, sit through like an entire spiel the entire time over and over again. There's none of that. Instead, it's just a lot of words that don't mean a lot of anything. It's just supposed to be some cryptic character building, I guess, without actually like knowing who or what the characters are with any sort of story. Come to think of it, I haven't even started doing the story yet. But apparently it's like 22 stories for each, 22 of 22 different characters, kind of just getting to know their, it's sort of like their prequel to whatever the arcade story is for these characters. And even then, I don't think there is 22 characters. I think there's less that are playable. I wonder about that. Because I only had to do, because like trophy-wise, when it comes to the what's it called? When it comes to the challenges in this game, so like the combo challenges where you need to do a specific set of moves that are being set out in front of you. You only have to do like what, 5 of them for 5 of them. Yeah. So it's split into like multiple sections. So like beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert, something else. You only have to do the beginner one for at least 3 characters and the intermediate ones for 5 characters. Okay, Audia. Oof, she's a short to mid-range character like Hilda. And she has some charging moves which I need to be very concerned about if she doesn't walk straight into my attacks. Also, she's a heavy damage dealer if you can really combo with her. Whereas Hilda is a far more trickier character as a whole. Whereas like in the previous rounds, like Waldstein is like an incredibly heavy tanky character, so he has a lot more health. His damage dealing capabilities are pretty high, but like he can barely move. And his weight with his massive like middle arm doesn't exactly you know, provide much help with that, to be honest. Ugh, that's an evil laugh, alright. How much have I got? 136 million from this run so far. Oh, what stage are we on? Oh, not this guy. Merkava. So Merkava is one to look out for. Like, what the heck is this guy? Anyway, long range. Mid to long range, that's what this character is. He can kind of like grab Hilda and then just like fling himself towards it, almost like kamikazeing through. But the thing is, when he grabs his opponent, the opponent can't really move to defend from it, so you can only try to block the initial grab that he does with his like long ass arms. He could really reach out a hell of a distance with that. Out of all of the characters, Merkava is one of 2 characters that I know would give me a lot of trouble with me using a character like Hilda and continuously spamming this one move. I will never claim to be good at yeah, like that kind of range. You can see how far the arms actually reached forward. Also, he can fly. That's really weird. Like, he had like bat wings. Well, he has bat wings. I'm pretty sure he's like more of a villain as well. Could be wrong about that. Oh, Seth. Seth is another dangerous character, but this one is that he's a really fast, short-range attacker. Would I call him a short or very short-range attacker? That's a question that I'm trying to like pull from my mind. He's a dangerous comboer, whereas like Merkava is more of like dangerous for being able to like snipe you at a distance. Sith is far more dangerous, like sort of in your face. But if you can keep distance from him, like keep spacing. So keeping, when I say spacing, it means keeping a decent amount of distance, because in fighting games you can actually home in on your opponent and you can clear some distance that, you know, your opponent is trying to make if you use a particularly short range character. Going into combos for a Punisher, so Punisher means taking advantage of any opportunities you get to kind of really be able to start dealing some damage. I feel like these are all like just really sort of fighting game terms that you generally hear at like an Evo or something like that, so a fighting game tournament. Whether it be spacing, whether it be to go for the punish, what other terms are there? God damn. Sweeping, sweeping I feel like can be used for anything, which is pretty much just taking out your opponent multiple times in a row without them being able to fight back or take out a single round from you. Oh, Gordo. Yeah, again, another villain. I feel like I know most of these characters because of Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle more than anything else. And I know that like even though I've only played for like a few hours and I've never really played Under Night in Breath before, what really probably doesn't help is that there are some like mechanics that I still don't quite get, like the need to use let me see if I can try and use it. One of the mechanics that I'm trying to remember but can't remember the exact name of. It was Veil Off. Yeah, so like Veil Off, like what does that do exactly? I know the EXS gauge is used to... Okay, so the Veil Off actually uses your EXS gauge. Whereas if you like hit 100% on that gauge, you can use certain moves that you ordinarily wouldn't be able to, and if you hit 200%. You can use like, you know, the ultimate move for most characters, which deal a decent amount of damage, not gonna lie. And the actual command for the move is the same for I think every character. That's what I've noticed. Is that every character has this particular move as the same command. Oh, Hilda versus Hilda. I feel like I had a very poor showing on this run of score attack mode. Like I ran it 2 times before, and both times I think I did significantly better than how I'm doing now. Must be like when you start streaming that you actually perform worse than you normally would, because you know that people are like, you know, watching or something like that. I suppose it's even more depressing when you say that when no one is watching. And also the rounds are called clauses, where like it's called Rebels in Blaze Blue, or they're called rounds and stuff like Tekken and Street Fighter. I can't remember what they're called in Guilty Gear. I feel like I should know this. Looks like my memory's not really doing much for me at the moment on that one. I mean, that was the final round. What was that? 238 million. Nah, I'm good. I don't want to upload that. That was shameful. That was a shameful display. I think maybe one more run should be enough to get me that the Overachiever Silver Trophy. Who do I want to fight first? I'll start from Hyde first again. I won't let it end. Huh. That's what Hyde just said, so that's an assumption. God, this is a view though. The game actually looks pretty good though, despite how old it is. Because it's like a 1.7 or 2.0 version of Under Night Empress. Hyde being a very, not a very close range, but just a close range character, he does have some mid-range ranged moves. But those are special moves and you probably want to save them, to be honest. You can't really like keep spamming that particular type of move with Hyde. I wonder, like, I was going through the tutorials earlier because you have to do like 100 of them anyways, as part of the achievos in the game, and for Hyde, he like, oh, not for Hyde in particular, but like every time he recovers, like, he was glowing green, and I don't think there's like anything close to like what in Blaze Blue is called a guard burst. I guess there's no real way of being able to kind of skip that little exchange at the beginning. Oh yeah, like when recovery happens, yeah, like Chaos is kind of glowing green a little bit on the outside. That reminds me of Guard Burst, yeah, from Blaze Blue, which kind of is like a cancellation of your opponent's combos once you get stuck in the middle of one. And that kind of leaves your opponent open to being comboed in a split second if you can make use of that little point in time. Otherwise it kind of just becomes like wasted time, wasted space. And something like that, something like a guard burst is limited to like once a round, max sort of thing, and both players get one. So I haven't really noticed that sort of thing in this game, which is pretty interesting in and of itself, because most fighters generally tend to have this sort of mechanic. Use the to survive neck or nothing. What is that supposed to mean, game? Neck or nothing? Again, I'm just like sort of like glazing over some of the English, and I'm like, I feel like something was intended to be said. I'm very not sure what is going on though. Very not sure. And I say that as like a joke, but still like there's some uncertainty there for sure. Also Vorpal. Vorpal is another concept that I've never understood in this, going through like the tutorials. Maybe I'll understand it if I actually kind of go through it. Because there was a achiever I earned for using a particular type of move to win, and I think it was this one that I'm spamming without using Vorpal. Actually, I could probably check that out, to be honest. Hold on. What's it look like? Without using Vorpal. Let's see, it should be around here. Yeah, I forgot to chain shift. Defeated an opponent while still in Vorpal state. I don't know, I must have done that by accident. It was earlier this morning too. Chain shift. Oh. What else have I got? Yeah, makes sense. Alright. Yeah, clear arcade mode with the difficulty setting of 5, which is the highest, and then at least have 3 rounds. And I think minimum is 1, maximum 5. Kind of the usual on that one. Anyway, back to getting my ass whooped. I will never admit to being good at fighting games because I kind of wish I was. That and rhythm games. Fighting games and rhythm games are games that I kind of wish I understood on a more mechanical sort of standpoint that like somehow I would be able to get good at. And I mean, like, I don't think I'll ever like sit down and actually play a fighting game or a rhythm game long enough to get that good at it. Because then I would only either be particularly that good at that, especially with rhythm games and how different they can be. I would only be particularly good at that rhythm game by that much if I did spend that sort of time playing on it. With fighting games, you can at least kind of get a feel for like what invincibility frames are, for instance. So when you use a particular move, at what times you are not going to take damage if your opponent does attempt to hit you. When you try and get back up, how long does that sort of time, how long does that state last of near invulnerability, so that you can make use of that to kind of, you know, extend that as long as possible throughout the fight, so that, yeah, like, it's just those really small things that you kind of need to like really understand to make good use of. And at least I feel like playing fighting games is more of a soft skill that you can like transfer across different fighting games, even if they might mechanically be different. You can kind of get a feel for it because fighting games generally tend to be one and the same for the most part. Though I suppose like any fighting game fanatic would probably be able to tell me that that definitely isn't the case. Whereas with like rhythm games, at least from what I've like played, which is a lot of different like sort of Japanese or very Asian types of rhythm games. And I say Asian because of like DJ Max being a Korean title versus like the many Japanese ones. So whether it be Hatsune Miku, Taiko no Tatsujin, and other examples like that. Like it's that, it's pretty clear like what is or isn't, yeah, like they mechanically act different. Whereas if you like look at, yeah, again, like something like Guitar Hero or Band Hero or Amplitude, again, they all are rhythm games, but, and Thumper as well in VR, like, you kind of then come across like how differently rhythm games can play. Also is another one on the PC. So again, you've got like many different examples of like how mechanically different a rhythm game can be, but they do follow the core concept of following the beats to the rhythm of a song or a piece of music. And you have to hit notes, and hitting those notes are what makes them mechanically different. Fighting games, again, the ideas and concepts I've mentioned so far in the stream are like, in the stream, kind of go across all of them. So again, spacing, cancels. So being, actually I haven't explained cancels yet. But stuff like punish, actually cancels, yeah. So cancels is pretty much when you start doing a stream of moves, but then you stop partway through to either switch to a different move to keep a combo going, or to stop attacking because you feel like your opponent is going to stop and counter you in some way, even though you've got a head up on them. So it's a very, I was gonna say it's a very mind game related mechanic in the game that you can make use of, but I feel like I'm also talking about it in a very much more competitive sense, but generally in a non-competitive scene when you're playing fighting games. It's generally used to extend your combos by switching from one move to another because you can't wait for the current move that you're using to finish because it's going to take too long, and if you do finish that particular move, either your opponent is going to be too far away for you to move to the next move, or the move is going to take so long that your combo counter is just going to completely, disappear by the time you kind of hit that next attack. And if the combo counter disappears, it just means your opponent is not locked into a position where they're just going to keep constantly getting assaulted by your moves. that's like a basic idea of it. Again, that's probably not the easiest to understand metric of it, but I'm sure like people can explain it more because I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch at the moment. So obviously this is gonna save on YouTube, so as a video, and I'm sure like people in the comments would be able to easily kind of be able to tell you like how accurate my explanation is, or if it's not that great, how could probably explain it better than me as well. I'm surprised I haven't hit 1 billion points yet, or maybe it'll only hit. Maybe the trophy will only unlock when I actually go back to the menu, which makes a bit more sense, I suppose. Why are rounds called clauses here? That sounds really weird. It's like first clause, second clause, final clause. Like, where did this idea of clauses come from? Again, probably the person who made up the idea of using clauses as like the name of the rounds probably came up with the idea for naming the game what it currently is. Like some Melty Blood. Not Type Lumina, the fighting game, but the actual like visual novel Melty Blood. And then jump into the fighting game pretty much after the visual novel, so at least I've got some context on who the characters are and not just, you know, fake character lookalikes. God, there's so many games I want to play as well. I do want to play what's it called? Titan. Attack on Titan. But I'm probably going to play that closer to the beginning of next year because I want to be able to use the SEO, the search engine optimization of YouTube to kind of help me with that one, because I know that part 2 of the final season is going to be airing next year, January, February-ish. So I'm probably going to like stream it throughout that time. Plus I'm pretty sure like the game takes about 60 hours to platinum, so I'll just kind of like stream in between my sort of like my runs. Ooh, Sith. Yeah, of course. I think yeah, so that's what I'm thinking of doing. Otherwise I would have already actually started playing Titans after, because I was going to stream yesterday, but then I chose not to because of Atelier Aisha, because I was like, all I had left to do was the endings, and it took me a couple hours to kind of like, you know, make sure that I've hit all of the criteria for the true ending, and by extension, I would have hit the criteria for all the other endings as well. So then I just kind of like took that and was like, okay. Now, and then just like save just before the game finishes, rest up to like the end of the final days of like the end of year 3, because the game takes place across 3 years. And then kind of like sleeping through the rest of the remaining time to the end of the 3 years, and then picking the dialogue choices to give me the ending that I want to get, which is very different from other Atelier games in past, where it's always been like you need to meet the criteria, then reach the end and you'll get that ending. So you have to be very careful about what criteria you meet and which ones you don't, so you don't overlap particular endings, and ending you don't want actually supersedes or has greater priority than the ending that you were wanting to get. So sometimes endings would have priority if you if you meet the criteria for 3 endings, 3 different endings, one of them will have priority over the other 2, and then the second one will have priority over the third one. Gordo. But yeah, it's really interesting though that a game can change mechanics, and almost like a yearly, like the Atelier games feel like a yearly installment now at this point. at least with the ones that I'm playing at the moment, like Atelier Aisha, and like I'm gonna jump into Atelier Isha and Logi next, which is the sequel to Atelier Aisha. After I finish platinuming this game, like I don't now I've completely forgot if I even mentioned it earlier on in the last half hour, whether or not I would actually make more trophy guides for fighting games. I actually know I did, yeah. If I find any good trophies to do that for, I'll probably do it here. That's why I'm like focusing on this simple strategy that got me through score, which is getting me through score attack right now, has got me through arcade mode, and got me through, what was the other mode? I feel like I should be remembering at this point. Also, Hilda has got some weird thing for wanting to be reborn. So I don't know what her deal is as far as story context goes, or her as a character. But she's definitely the sort of very mistress type character, just from design alone. Depletion of EXS. Second clause, divide. Yeah, I think what usually happens is if I'm fighting Hilda, the opposing Hilda will probably most likely not use any particularly long range moves, even though Hilda's got some pretty good long range moves, but the problem is making use of them is hard as hell. Banishment of the Void. Now it says banishment and not banishment, so I don't know whether I should be kind of concerned for the English on here. Yeah, I got a perfect bonus, a couple perfect bonuses, which is neat. So I got nearly 300 million there. Nearly. Close enough. Overachiever, hell yeah. Nah, I won't upload that one because you have lost the battle. Immortal darkness captures your body to take you away from this dimension. Engulfing. Ah, goddamn it, game. I was reading that. Still, that was pretty funny. Now, what was I going to tackle next? Maybe I can do speedrunner later. I'll probably just jump into the Chronicles, which is the story mode. It says 22 chapters covering one specific character in the game itself. So it's like a prologue to their arcade modes. Gameplay recording pause because of yeah, sure. Thank goodness for capture cards. Alright, where's this to 22 chapters? Yeah, there are. Through the door. Must be the prologue. Eternal through time, the story of what led to the Hollow Knight. But before that, I will introduce the person who stands before you now. I am the automatic nerve, Batista, a subroutine that exists primarily in dormancy. I reside within a small amount of memory, so as not to put a strain on the main unit. I serve, execute, record, and report. This feels like the whole concept of, for anyone who's played Blaze Blue, what's the word? The Watchers. Pretty much what Rachel is from the Blaze Blue series. A person who is able to watch phenomena occur around the world but not able to actually partake in said phenomena or changes in the world state and things like that. As to why I have appeared here, the reason I am speaking with you now is something even I do not know. While my master slaves, I awaken in times of emergency. For those who venture forth to observe the night, I become their guide and light their way through the darkness. As present times have become turbulent, the information we have collected and conclusions that can be drawn from it must be shared on the hollow night to those who have gained power. The stories that have led to this night against the backdrops they've written, look through the store to understand them. Once everything has been known, another door shrouded in deep darkness can be seen. When the time arrives, I shall appear before you again as another party unaffected, as just another observer. Now it's time. She said Tobira, so that means door. I don't know why they put in threshold. They would have been better off just like translating that to door instead. To a place far away, one that cannot be reached from here, I will wait for you holding a slight glimmer of hope, knowing we will not meet. Here, for a long, long time. Okay, so just unlocked a bunch of random ones. It doesn't start off with number 1. Nah, we gotta start off on number 5 and number 7. Let's start with number 5. Orie. Okay, so 4 chapters in Orie's story. A just messenger. She seems like the very justice heavy type of character. There, in the distance. Is that a town? Oh, is that the town? Jesus Christ, I can't read. Outside the window of the train, under the white hazy sky, a large and misty town appeared. No. No, it's just a little further away. It'll take a while to get there, so I'll tell you the mission details after we arrive. We can't be sure that no one is listening in, she added in a whisper. Until then, why don't we chat? We haven't talked at all since we met up at the airport. Ooh, foreigners. Even though I said we wouldn't know who'd be listening in, our car's fairly empty. I think we'll be alright as long as we keep an eye out. Okay, so it's from Orie's perspective, I guess. This whole writing. We had been in a bit of a rush to make the train earlier, but we were otherwise off to a good start. My legs are still a bit sore. You know, it must be nice to just, you know, be able to see an entire, like, you know, town as you're kind of riding in the train that's just going around. Ooh, working on an important document. She still thinks she works better at night. She hasn't changed a bit. She didn't have to come out all this way if she was so sleepy. Though that's what makes her so thoughtful. Even now she's fixated on her computer, saying she needs just another minute to finish up her work. Our conversation would just get cut short again and again because of this. Really, this girl. I wonder if Kaguya's already there. Yeah, she's fine. She's got it more together than you. Kaguya was our age as well, a childhood acquaintance, friend, comrade, and a powerful ally. All we knew was that she had a mission elsewhere, and that she would meet up with us again after it was completed. As soon as we disembarked from the plane, she was gone. Tell if only. I turned my phone back on to see if I'd received any sort of message from Kaguya, but there was no service. Even if you don't have reception, like, your phone isn't completely useless. Though I suppose if it's a brick phone, then it makes a lot more sense. But the unease I felt this summer was much greater than usual. gathering information as a student. Just what is headquarters asking me to do?
そう困った声を出すな。上だってお前に期待をしているからこそ、こうした様々な任務を任せている。
Okay, what is the lich crease? Pronunciation help here, anyone? That'll be much appreciated. An executor. Oria Harada. Okay, so tragic backstory, lost parents, okay, and taken in by some justice society sort of thing.
どれどれマル秘潜入マニュアルとこれを見ておけばいいんだっけ。
そうだな。まあ当たり前のことしか書かれていないから、しっかり読まずとも大体 OK だが。
Transfer student from a wealthy all-girls school. Okay, so we've got some background information here. I'm sure she'll figure it out somehow.
リヒトクライスっていうと大抵お嬢様みたい。私
The
みんなそんなことないから戸惑っちゃうのよね。
Lick Chris or Light Chris, I can't really tell now at this point how I'm supposed to pronounce that. There's that girl Erica. Actually, have I come across a character called Erica so far? I don't even remember. Then there's Mika, another person without any relatives. Oh, she's got the massive gloves or whatever, massive gauntlets that she uses for punching everyone. Sharp intuition. She definitely doesn't look the part, for sure. I feel like everyone's got some sort of weird past in this whole organization at this point. Everyone will see as a rich exchange student from a super prestigious school, so try and act accordingly. Yeah, that's gonna work out real well for you. Let's see how that goes. Why did I have to make the school so prestigious? Historically famous. I suppose it's because of the name, the vibe it gives off. Brand, like I'm thinking, name, brand recognition, that must be it. Several cities around the globe. Oof, damn. Yeah, that's why she seems like the sort of more justice-oriented, I'm doing everything for the right of the world type of character. If you're in a bind and need inspiration, just think of shining a holy light on those who need saving. That's a bit... At least she's somewhat self-aware of the whole justice angle compared to like a character like, and I keep bringing up Blaze Blue as an example, but God, I'm forgetting everyone's name. Tsubaki, yeah, Tsubaki from Blaze Blue, who's just kind of blinded by the idea of justice is everything. Like Chris. Damn, I really should have stopped trying to pronounce it at this point. Oof, that's a line right there. Only helps women / only the emotionally unstable. That's literally what the last line just said. Jesus Christ, what the heck am I saying? Oof. The topic may run deeper than I imagined. I think everyone says things are so easy here since we're all girls.
女の子同士だし気楽だよ
Things are
ね
more open between us and girls, right? Well, I'd still be fine if you were a guy, Leah. Why do you ask? Are you thinking about people in literature?
そんなところ正義の
Behind the organization of justice is a group made up of girls who go on monster hunts.
女の子ばっかりの怪物
裏である
Imagine this game is like a monster hunting game instead of a fighter. Who would have thought?
ずっと女子校通いだった
何よリヒトクライスってなんでこんな
それはわからないな、一つ言えるのは運の要素が大きいだろう
We were created ages ago as an organization that started to defeat voids. I don't even know what the heck voids are. Like, nothing has been explained yet.
そういう荒事を重ねていくうちに
And in-birth as well, and then on top of that, this whole like rebirth thing as well is like completely separate from in-births.
そしたらどうだ光の慈善団
I couldn't even begin to describe like half of what's going on.
もちろん誰にでもで
アーデルハイト様
ああ運であろうと大きく育つのはいいことこのち日本にもかつて虚無大寺で有名な一族がいたら
Ooh, I wonder what this. It must be
長い歴史世界規模で見れば他にいく
It
つも
must have to do with Yuzuriya, which is one of the characters in the game. Though I'm just like basing that off of like
子供たちには
who it could be.
社会の真相残酷な現
I love how there's also like green tea in like the backdrop on the window of the train, and you can kind of see the buildings of the city.
そうだよね
当然だ
Damn, that makes me want to drink some green tea now.
そんな未来だ
名だたる財団ではあるがリヒトクライスはそういった黒い話は耳にすることがないこれは誇らしい
とは言っても私たちのような末端には
そういうこともあり得るな
We are holders of this special magic power, EXS. What the heck is an EXS anyways? Come on, game.
だよね
けどそうであろうとそれが我らのレベルへ聞こえてこないのか、
そんなこと
Yeah, executors. Like, so what are we going to execute exactly? Like, we've got a job. We're going to a school as a student to gather information, but what are we executing exactly? Like, originally the job is to go and get more information, but
<sighs> 学校へ潜入か
infiltrating school, huh? I wonder if we'll be okay. 大丈夫かなと思ったので Yeah, that's a good that's a decent thought to have. Unusual circumstances be
俺が
damned.
意外とドジなところがあるからバレる心配がゼロだとは言わないが
さらりとひどいこと言わないでよレックス
いくつもの修羅場をくぐってきた織江様じゃ
You're
ない
already
か
Victor of battle. You'll be fine this time too. What's wrong? You seem so uneasy this time around.
ダメダメダメいつも通りにしてれば大丈夫もうどうでもいいことで考えすぎちゃってるな
どうでもいいこと I suppose unnecessary things is actually a good translation for something like that. Illness comes from your state of mind. Again, emotionally unstable. That's exactly what.
おい織江あんまり大きく
Maybe I should
分けない
like
でくれ
stop my tongue there before I say anything that's really gonna get people riled up. Now I have to think about it. A lot of time has passed since we got on this train. Traveling on an unfamiliar train. My hips are bottom hurt a bit. Perhaps from sitting for so long.
ババ臭い
Babakusai. Wait, hold on. Did she say that? I want to re-listen to that line there. Where'd I put the TV volume? TV remote, damn it. Hold on.
ババ臭い
Oh, yeah, no, she did say Babakusai.
言わないでよ自分でもちょっと思ってたんだから
Oh. The scenery outside the window, everywhere I look, the blue sky stretches across and the sunlight pours down gently to us. The large trees show a tint of red, giving everything the feeling of fall. Or as the rest of us normal people call it, autumn. Because for some reason, I don't know, Americans can't spell autumn. The idea of M and N being together in a single word seems to go error 404, brain not found half the time maybe. That's a bit of a stretch to go on though.
ゆっくり観光とか出先でおしゃべりとか思い出作りをした。
I've been thrown into planes in hasty rushes, only to return shortly afterward. You couldn't consider that traveling at all. Well, I'm aware that this would be a luxury. Focus on the mission first. I know you need to have a bit more fun on the job, but I can't get sloppy. On a mission in Japan, huh? Wait, so why is this place important there?
戻ってこれたこと。私、なんだかんだですごく嬉しいのかな。知らない場所、今回の任務が落ち着いたら、少し時間をもらってこの国を見て回ろうかな。けど。
I think that when the trophy guide said it would take 10 hours to platinum the game, I don't think they took into account the person actually reading all of the text in like the story and stuff.
レクス、そろそろ。
ああ、そうだ。移動中の方が仕事がダメで。
Speakers announced the next stop, Kanzakai. Kanzakai.
さて、オリエ。準備は OK。
子供じゃないんだからそんなのないって。レクスの方こそ仕事道具の詰まったカバンなんか忘れない。
それは冗談にならないからやめ。
It would be pretty bad to forget something work related.
うん。
Next thing you know, you get busted for doing something illegal.
ここが私の次の任務。その舞台となる街。これから始まるのはただの任務だけじゃない。
Yeah, personal how explain some of the stuff, man. Batista only explained so much in the introduction. Get off the train, passing through the turnstile, and getting into an open area. Man, those buildings look pretty nice, not gonna lie. Like, this is a nice place to be just for a casual walk in between the buildings.
ここからの道のりなら。
Just staring at a guide map the entire time. Oh, I don't know where I'm going, and then getting lost because you were staring at the map instead of like following Lex.
まずはお腹。それなり。そうか。
さすがレクス。
なら行こう。少し歩くぞ。
Lex definitely falls under the sort of kudere archetype. Actually, wait, hold on. If I go back to... Go back to the main menu. Clear early scenarios. Oh, okay, so it's just story. It's not really any sort of fighting. Okay. I thought there would be like some sort of fights just thrown in between. If that's the case, then I'll probably just do some... Oh jeez, what did I do? Let's see if I can try and do speedrunner. The speedrunner trophy for clearing time attack mode with 3 characters and then 12 minutes each. Hilda's gonna be the obvious first one to use. So I have to get through like, what, 10 fights. And again, like this strategy, like I mentioned earlier, like this can be used for pretty much any fight, especially on the hardest difficulties of stuff like arcade mode, which is how I managed that, and how the score attack mode as well. Here we're going just for pure speed, I guess. I wonder if there's like some particularly like heavy characters we can use. 12 minutes with 3 characters. Okay. So we're looking at about 2 minutes. Oh, actually no, there's 10 fights, right? So we're probably looking at about a minute. If it's a minute per fight, then that's about 10 minutes right there. 10 seconds across 10 fights would be about 200 seconds, which is about nearly 3 minutes. So it's probably more like a minute and 5 seconds. A minute and 5, no, like a minute 7 seconds per fight. Across 10 fights. Man, I'm really trying to like math it up in my head right now as to like how this would work. What sucks is that like Hilda just isn't able to deal a lot of damage, even though we've got like an easy way of being able to fight enemies as her. Oh yeah, you know what? I think maybe the strategy for this is gonna have to be I need to move my opponent to like the corner so I can really start to spam that move. So I really need to like aim to like keep moving forward. Like again, the prospect of dying is quite low for me anyways because like I'm landing on so many more hits than I am actually taking. God, why is she blocking so much? I hate it so much. Like, she could just stand there blocking the entire time and end up wasting, like, most of the time. Immortalize. Ah, Carmine. Yeah, that's the name. I'm vaguely able to kind of pick up those invincibility frames in between. Yeah, I kind of figured that he was gonna like then appear behind me. Okay. I think I'm kind of bringing it back, like the time. So we're sitting at like 2 minutes 22 seconds right now. First round over in stage 3 of 10. Because like the basic idea is think of it as like 1 minute per fight, and then one fight of course being 2 rounds, so being like 30 seconds per round of course. 6 rounds in. Oh, well, 5 rounds in at the moment. We're doing round 6 at the moment. I feel like being on the offensive is going to be the key here. The thing is, how am I going to pick the other 2 characters to do time attack with? That's what I'm going to try and figure out. Is like, what other 2 characters could I use? Oh, Seth. Okay, so goddamn. Okay, he's gonna be dangerous because of his short range comboing ability. So he's very much a combo heavy character, but he can deal a decent amount of damage, given that he gets the opportunity to deal to get in close. Also, he moves around a lot. Staying on the offensive is going to be tough for this one. God damn it. And again, it's not really a matter of winning that's going to be annoying, it's doing it in under 12 minutes that's going to be a bother. But I think we're doing pretty well at the moment for time. 2 more characters, who the hell am I going to pick for that though? I've got a few options. I mean, I could probably use Hyde. I've gotten used to using him at least a little bit in like the tutorials and stuff. So at least I'm kind of aware of what his attacks look like. But I can't say that he's the only character that I've got off the top of my head. Just trying to figure this out is kind of annoying. Rine is probably another one as well. Maybe Orie? I feel like Hyde is going to be definitely an option for me. She hasn't hit the ground yet, so those invincibility frames haven't kicked in quite yet. Or not even a matter of hitting the ground, but using the wall as like a backboard for constantly like whacking my opponent in. She's like getting close. Oof. Oh, round 1 hasn't ended yet. God damn, this round has gone on for way too long. Stop blocking! Okay. Oh damn, we're going 3 seconds over 4.5 minutes. Okay. And my EXS gauge has not maxed out yet, even after all of these fights. Wait, hold on, does it? Damn, she keeps blocking in and jumping over to the other side, whereas I'm trying to like move her to pretty much like the edge of the... Oh damn, no, again, no, you know what? I had to use the EXS gauge eventually, but now I'm falling behind in terms of time. So I was meant to finish stage 5 in 5 minutes. So we're 18 seconds behind. Rine was an annoying one, okay. So who's next on the list then? Oh no, not Batista. Quite easily the most annoying character for me to fight using Hilda's like spammy move thing that I'm doing at the moment. The biggest issue is that Batista, in fact her blocking is actually going to be even more annoying now because she's got some real long range attacks. Like you see that kind of sweeping across the entire area. Jumping is also going to be bad for me unfortunately. I can't make use of aerial combat all that much. But then again, like she doesn't even need to really... Stop blocking, damn it. Okay. Damn, oh, okay. Whoa. So that was a charge move. She focuses a lot on charge moves is one thing that I've noticed with her challenge mode. Yeah, her challenge mode mostly focuses on charged attacks, and I can't seem to use any of them. Oh, what the heck? Come on, game. I wonder if Wall Sting is going to be a good option for this. Chaos, okay. maybe like trying to do it like one round per, like not round but one match per minute is probably not a good idea for the most part. It's probably better just to kind of go for ooh, could have really gone and I guess that's as good a punishment as I could kind of dish out. I suppose the idea is the moment I hit 6 minutes that I at least beat 5 stages. But that's like bare minimum, I suppose. 7 minutes, 5 seconds. I've still got like 8, 9, and 10 to go. God damn, he's really like trying to keep his distance, trying to like space it out, to be honest. 3, 4. Oh, I was really hoping I could get one more in there. Invalid combo because he got an invalid combo for using the same move earlier on in the combo. So when you try and use the same move, it invalidates your combo and doesn't count for anything. In any official capacity, whether it be Chivas or combos, when doing combo challenges and things like that. Oh, Merkava. Another range, semi-ranged character. 2, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Let him drop. 1, 2, 3. Let him drop. 1, 2. Got him. I got him. Okay. Maybe I can kind of like manipulate my movement a little bit, create a bit of spacing, let him drop and then kind of attack from there. Like, you know, try and make use of that. 1. Whoa. Oh, I got that. Whoa. Come on, move. Move back, move. Keep moving. Merkava, keep moving back. Keep spacing it up. 2, 1, 2, 3. Then I space out. Damn! Oh, he went out the other way. Is it a he or... I can't even tell anymore. What the heck is Merkava? 1, 2, 3. 1. Come on. Okay. Got him. So stage 9 and stage 10 with still 3.5 minutes to go. Well, under 3.5 minutes. Eltnum. Eltnum? What the heck? Okay. She's a bother in a completely different sense, because she's got incredibly long-ranged attacks, and I can't tell if she's using strings to attack, and that's why she's got such an incredibly long range. Okay. Oof, I've just hit 9 minutes. Okay. Will I be able to finish her by 9.5 minutes? That's incredibly unlikely, I think. If I can beat her in like 20 seconds. If every time I use this single move, she did actually, you know, take damage, probably would have been doable. 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh, damn. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay. Actually, you know what? Being off by 6 seconds is actually not going to be that bad. Keeping in mind I've still got 2.5 minutes to take out... Oh, maybe like 2 minutes and 24 seconds to take out Hilda. So I think I'm actually in a pretty good spot now to do it within 12 minutes. Okay. Because, like, again, I keep repeating 12 minutes over and over because I know that that is my goal. That's what I'm aiming for. while my strat definitely not the best because I suck at fighting games, it probably doesn't change the fact that like it kind of gets the job done. Okay. We've got a minute and 53 seconds. Yeah, we can do this. Like, that's easy. In fact, even if we ran out of time, we would still have enough time. Because, like, 100 seconds is like, what, minute 40. We've got a minute 57 seconds. But I don't intend to lose, nor let the timer actually go down to 0, so... With that out of the way, I'm pretty sure we're in good tidings to get a decent chop on that. Breakdown in communication. God, which was the longest? Minute 38 was the longest. Ah, okay, so stage 5 was a little bit extra, to be honest, for the most part. It's funny how it says you have lost the battle with like the game over screen, but the thing is we kind of made it through to the end, which is pretty wild. Now who am I gonna pick for another character that I can use? Hyde. I know I was aiming for Hyde. Also, Hilda is pretty much like the main baddie. The main bad of the series. Might as well use Smart Steer, yeah. Okay. That was at least like a decent amount of damage being done. Wait, his name is Winterhide? I didn't even know that. You learn something new every time, because I've never used Hyde outside of the tutorial so far. Yeah. Decent damage being dealt. Breakdown. Okay, so we're looking at 58 seconds after the first. Oh, Winterhide, not Winterhide. What am I saying? I really need to learn how to read. Yuzuriha. Okay, got him. I'm very tempted to hit L1 to teleport behind my opponent, but the thing is that that's not a mechanic in this game. That was in Digimon All-Star Rumble. And I tell you, like, Digimon All-Star Rumble really... Ooh, that took a lot out of me. Oh, it looks like the audio just bugged out on me again. Hold on. Yeah, the video capture device just kind of bugged out on me again. Like halfway through the stream. I didn't even notice that until like afterwards. Okay, almost there. Breakdown. Banishment of the Fold. keeping in mind it says vanishment and not banishment. Oh, I can't lie. I know that he's like a villain to some extent. I just don't know to what extent. It's gonna be fun to kind of like sit down and, you know, like actually read through all of the stories that the game has to offer, which I'd rather like not do on stream because I'm probably gonna like sit through it and watch it myself. And I mean, like when because the next game I'm going to stream is most likely going to be just some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Idolmaster 2, which I think I have in my PS3 right now, like the disc. That's gonna be fun. Like I don't think I've ever played a game that's purely in Japanese. But again, it's a fun time. Impartial rhythm game, like a rhythmic sim game where you kind of like pick a particular idol that you want to like raise to the top, and you kind of just need to like understand what the mechanics are, how you kind of increase the stats of your idols, how you can then like better use them to be like like advertising stuff, you know, making performances, making new songs, performances, putting together actual concerts. That's a whole other thing altogether. That's a fun time. It's pretty grindy though as the game goes. Especially I think like Idolmaster, One for All and what was the other one? Platinum Stars really start to get grindy. Especially Platinum Stars, and then Stellar Stage, which released after Platinum Stars, less grindier is what I would say. Making smart use of smart steer at the moment. That's kind of getting me through quite a bit of the fights. I'm actually doing a lot better this time as opposed to with Hilda, which I'm actually quite surprised by, not gonna lie. Like I haven't been overly comboed yet, but I'm pretty sure I can see that happening soon. Yeah, like look at all the damage that Seth is dealing from just being able to fire out these orbs that actually fire out like bolts of energy. And for like anyone watching on Twitch, if you like, you know, enjoy just the casual feel right now, feel free to hit that follow because I know I'm going to be doing a lot more of this. And for those of you guys on YouTube, sub or like if you like, dislike if you don't. Not like it makes too much of a difference to be honest, because the algorithm will do what it does. And I feel like my video won't be, my streams won't exactly be recommended by any capacity. It's just a fun time. No stress. I guess those just exist, like the sub and the follow button just exist to make big number go bigger, but that's really about it. Oh, Rinne. I can understand why my like 5th round took way too bloody long. Like Rinne's really putting out the stops at the moment to try and beat me. Because I was like trying to remember, wait, who was I fighting on the 5th round, and then I realized, oh, it was Rinne. Oh, god damn, okay. A full 14 hit combo, okay, that's G. Pretty meh. Okay, the 1 minute per fight is now kind of gone out the window because of, again, this fight again, which I feel like is just going to take me forever. 5.5 minutes, Jesus. Okay, did this fight like legitimately take me over 1.5 minutes to do? Oh, Batista. Okay. I have to get in close, otherwise I am not going to be able to beat her. She could easily destroy me while I'm using hide because of her long range attacks. Ooh. This already is not looking good. Or it's looking incredibly average for me at the moment in terms of like, oh, here's the time, here's like the amount of rounds I've done. Like I'm barely cutting it as it is. 6 minutes have hit and I've just won the first round in stage 6. Okay, so I took more damage because that was a counter hit. Makes sense. God damn it. Oh, okay, I need to get my opponent into the corner. That seems to be like the better option now. So this fight took probably like a minute and 8 seconds or something like that. Oof, okay, so that's actually still pretty long for a single fight to take. Hopefully Chaos shouldn't be too bad. But then again, he's already got his beast out. And that's like half of his combo right there, is getting that monster out and being able to just hit your opponent for some fairly like long range damage. I need to like get him into... Ooh, so yeah, constantly blocking is what's gonna really bother me here. Is I need it to recover anyways before I can start attacking again. Otherwise he's gonna take no damage at all. Which is actually kind of depressing. Getting that initial hit on Chaos is really important to make that beast thing disappear. I don't even know what that is, like I need to figure that out. Breakdown, Banishment of the Void. At this point I don't even know if it says Void or VOD. It's just like round after round after round. Now, from what I can tell, that last one was less than a minute. Merkava. This is going to be interesting. How is it going to turn out? He's blocking. I think Merkava might actually make use of aerial cancels the best, I think. Being able to just jump in the middle of a combo to stop a particular move and then be able to then extend combos by using those other moves. But now I've got him in the corner, so I can abuse the fact that he's in the corner. It seems that using the corner is probably like the better option as a whole, to kind of, you know, abuse, I was about to call him Clyde, Hyde's smart steer combo. Oh, okay, that was damaging. Damn it, why is he running? Okay, I got him now. Wait, what? Ooh, ooh, this is not looking good in terms of like time. Last round I did kinda well. This round I'm doing terribly. Not round, but like the last fight. This one took at least like a minute and 15, maybe a minute 20. Somewhere between minute 15 and minute 20. Which is a lot. Okay. So we've got 2 rounds left with 3 minutes 15 seconds. 2 fights, 3 minutes 15. I want to give myself as much time in the final fight as possible. we're like fighting in front of a shrine, and like the shrine, well, a tori, which is a gate, and then the gate kind of like leads up to the shrine with another tori just after it. Alright, 2.5 minutes left. 2 minutes, 38 seconds, I guess, really, realistically speaking, but still. Better to assume that you have less time than what you actually do, so you can prepare for, you know, worst case, should it happen. Ooh, counter, okay. Still though, the game loads really fast on my PS5, which I'm playing on at the moment. Oh, and thank goodness I muted my controller audio. Have I? Oh yeah, no. Just double checking to make sure that it's muted. Okay, Hilda, the final fight. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left. Okay. Things are not looking too bad at the moment, honestly. Like, I could just keep spamming this group of moves on Hilda over and over. Oh, no. You are not going anywhere, Hilda. Okay. We've actually got pretty good setup going on, actually. 1.5 minutes left with 99 seconds on the fight. Now, the likelihood of me losing is low, I think, now at this point. I think it's just a matter of now winning this. And then character number 2 will be done. I just need to figure out who the third character is going to be. Okay. Breakdown. Cool. We had 1 minute and 3 seconds left on the clock before hitting 12. Minute 25 and minute 15. Those were the two really long ones. Stage 5 and stage 8. Who should I use next? I feel like Seth might be a good second final option, or Nanase. Wagner's not a bad idea either. Anything good, Gordo. I know I've used Gordo in cross tag battle before, but who else did I use? It wasn't just Gordo. I think it was Enkidu. Oh, maybe he wasn't even in there. Usually Byakuya, Mika, Akatsuki. I'm gonna use Ori, yeah. Okay. Oh, so she's got like this sort of spirit thing. I forgot about that when I was doing her combo challenges, which I think I've completed all of hers, to be honest. At least that kind of like destroys like his the spirit thing does like a sort of does like a sort of a guard break, which is cool. 3, 4, 5. There we go. It's a matter of getting that third hit in the combo in. That's where the key lies in actually continuing the whole thing. But you can also see like when the combo is about to end with the gauge just underneath the combo number, or like how long your combo is. Yuzuria is next. Yep. Yeah, I think even if my opponent blocks, like again, that guard break helps. Oh, that's an incredibly short range combo though, so it's probably better to rush into your opponent and then try to stun them into position. Also, I've noticed that when you like try to recover, you actually lose a little bit of health as well. I don't know if that was like intentional, but that is kind of clever almost. Because you then need to understand, oh, is it worth me then using up that little bit of health to actually recover? And if so, then like, how am I going to make this work? There's a lot of like mental gymnastics going on, other than mental and finger gymnastics. I feel like at this point, trying to figure out what's the strategy to go with in this fight, or what are some effective strats for each of the characters. What range of attacks to go for? What certain characters use? How can you make use of chip damage? Special attacks, just all this other stuff. I really want to, like, this character looks interesting. I want to know what his deal is. Because he's like, he's just like, I can't help but think that his like arms are just completely covered in blood. And I'm like, why is that he's always covered in blood? Like, how is he able to use that as like a weapon to both protect himself and to fight his opponents? Because that's like, his shtick is that he can kind of just use, at least I'm assuming that that's blood on his arms. I could be completely wrong, and everything that I'm saying is just nonsensical. Just absolute nonsense. I should do a trophy hunting stream where I like sit down, play a single game, and go from beginning to end, just earning every Chivo in a single sitting. Because I know I've done that once before with Spyro 2, but I do want to do that for the other Spyro games and maybe like Crash, but no, Crash takes too long, because that'll be like 20 hours I'd say. Whereas like Spyro 2 took me like 6 hours and 45 minutes. And I can confirm that because that's a video on my YouTube channel at the moment. Which is actually kind of funny. Immortalize Seth. Now Seth is one to be worried about, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, he's able to jettison himself through like his opponents. That third hit though, really that's an extremely short range move though. But it's quite possibly the most integral part of the combo. The music is again very reminiscent of that of what I would normally hear in like the Blaze Blue soundtrack. Ooh, yeah, I guess attacking just in the corner isn't the most ideal since I get moved back from the, like, Audier does get moved backwards a little bit from the first two hits, so the third hit being an extremely long, short range attack doesn't really work well, I suppose. Okay. Rine, the first most troublesome opponent in the entire score attack. Not score attack, time attack mode. But what's going to make her less troublesome is that even if she defends the whole way, I can still do some decent trip damage. Thanks to guard breaking. I feel like that's what I've needed, is any characters that can make good use of their guard breaks. Thank goodness I got the window open because it's damn hot in this room though. Oh, she's still blocking. Just doesn't want to give up. I swear. I think this is still going to be the longest fight, even though she... There we go. So we just hit 5 minutes after finishing like halfway through the actual number of rounds, being 10.
相当を開始します。あなたには犠牲になってもらいます。
Recurring void, what? I really should pay attention to what's being written in front of me. But again, even with like Batista constantly blocking being really annoying, her long range attacks mean nothing if all she does is block. This should do it. Okay, here we go. Depletion of EXs. 5.5 minutes, okay. I think I should be able to beat her before I hit 6 minutes. Though now that I think about it, that seems to have just been a very... Oh, no. Nope. It seems that even when she used her ultimate move, it's like the timer was still going, so nope, me hitting 6 minutes is gonna happen now. But again, as far as like time is concerned, like I'm doing quite well. Like, I think with audio, I think I might be able to hit that time a lot quicker. Chaos. Blocks, but oh, did he block the whole thing? That may be the first time I've seen someone actually block the whole combo. There we go. See, that's when the guard break hits. I feel like he might have clipped through the actual what's it called? I don't know. I feel like that guard break move must have like missed him, which is why it didn't work, and he managed to kind of block his way through the rest of my combo. Also, what the heck is that beast thing? Like, legit has me very like. I want to know what that thing is, because it looked cool. Though I feel like he's also kind of like summoned it by using whatever the heck's in the book. Oof, okay, so we've just hit 7 minutes. Ah, man, okay. I mean, again, timing-wise, we're doing pretty well. I mean, 10 fights within, what, 10 fights within 12 minutes? That's not bad. 7 fights, complete 7 minutes, 9 seconds at the timer right now. Oh, okay, here we go. Merkava. This is one guy to watch out for, unfortunately. His long range is going to be the most troublesome thing of all. But also, again, what the heck is this thing? I'm wondering how they came up with like some of the character designs of this series. Actually, does it even count as a series if it's only a single game that released multiple times with different versions of the arcade cabinet? Now I'm thinking way too hard about like how did the name even come to be? Like Under Night in Birth, EXE, late. How does a name like that come to be? That's what I'm curious about. I feel like no matter how high I could have ever been, I don't think I would ever be able to come up with something like that. Eltnum, okay. So, stage 9, sitting at nearly 8 minutes. Oh yeah, so that move just missed her because she was slammed upwards and I don't think the pixels actually hit. So she was out of range for that particular move in the combo. So I can totally see that is probably what happened to the other dude earlier. No, okay. 8 minutes 34. We're actually doing really well at the moment, so I think we can kind of cruise it from here. All we can really do is just sort of like combo in like that. Use smart steer to our advantage, because again, being bad at games doesn't mean you can't play them. It just means you'll be heavily criticized from it. But I claim nothing, so, or I regret nothing. I plead the fifth. Come at me, everyone else. Okay, all that's left is Hilda now. So as far as I'm aware, after running the arcade mode as Hilda, all I get is that she's after the main character's weapon, which is referred to as, I can't remember what the exact term is, but that's her main motivation, is to get the main character's weapon. Actual details are completely going over my head. A little bit more, come on. Ten and a half minutes, I think, was maybe my fastest time with Hilda. I think I'm about to 10 minutes and 11 seconds. That's my best time through time attack. Speedrunner, hell yeah. Which one took me the longest? Minute 11 and minute 15. So I know that minute 15, stage 5 was going to take me a while, but stage 9 as well? Oh, we got minute 2 with stage 10. Huh, interesting. Game over indeed. Come to think of it, what can I buy with my IP that I've earned now? Do I want to go into the shop? What was the shop again? Icons, plates, and titles that I can buy off the store. So what if I go into customization, I guess? Icon settings, oh yeah. I've got 62,000 IP at the moment. I might as well save up my IP and then like buy everything at once. So it's icons, plates, and titles that you can buy in the game. Cool. What do we want to handle next? 5 scenes, 10 scenes, these are all chronicle modes, purchase all plates, icons, and titles. That's just what I was like looking at before. If we go back. Let's see here. So these are all story mode related as far as I'm aware. Then Overachiever Speedrunner, which we've just done. And then these are all like sort of mechanic related. And then some character specific stuff as well. Purchase all of these. Yeah, this is all the miscellaneous stuff. Yeah. And like the story doesn't exactly have any fights in between, so there's probably not much use in trying to stream that. Actually, come to think of it, have I got what's the deal with miscellaneous Chivos, customization? Okay, so as far as Chivos go, there's some character specific ones, but I'll probably just like record my gameplay and then just like put it up on my YouTube like after the fact. That's probably going to be a better idea. Or use a second controller to do some of them. Like doing a chain shift while possessing 6 or more guards. Or GIDs. 1-5 matches in consecutively in versus mode. Yeah, it's probably going to be like a 2 controller situation, I think. I should have like left arcade mode for like the stream, but I guess that was like one of the first things that I did. Oh well. Oh yeah, it's got the clip going on as well. For when the trophy actually unlocked. I forgot that it saves a clip for everything as well. Oh, anyways. I guess what I'll do is I'll end my stream at that. To be honest, there's not really much else I can play that would seem remotely entertaining. And plus, again, story stuff, I'd rather just sit down and kind of like watch myself. And on that note, I'll catch you guys all in the next stream. If you're on YouTube, or if you're on Twitch or YouTube, you can actually kind of see my bio on. So like on YouTube, you can kind of see my bio and see my Twitch link. And if you're on Twitch, you can see my bio. Check my bio for the YouTube link. Just kind of like cross-pollinate the communities there. So you know, check that out. Hit the sub or the follow buttons if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll stream again sometime soon. Peace.